Hi everyone, just going to run through how to set up a really simple and cost-effective hospital cage. We pray we don't need these things, but if you don't have one set up ready to go, you could lose a bird that's really important to you for a simple thing. A simple thing. Doesn't have to be necessary. You could have a hen that's just gone a little bit egg bound. I've had many a hen recover in the past. Very rarely get them these days, but in the past I have done this. So what we want, standard show cage, just taking the front off so we can gain access to everything. And what we've got is these little heat pad, reptile heat mats, sorry. Really cost effective. I'll put some links in. I got them off of Amazon. I've got one here and a bigger one, which I'll talk about in a minute. Now, these have a heat range of, in high temperature, 36 to 40 degrees Celsius, medium temperature, 30 to 35 degrees. Now, when I've used this bigger one, I have used it on the medium temperature, 30 to 5, and it was perfectly fine. I didn't need to ramp it up to the higher one. And the low temperature is 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. So it's got a good range. And any sick bird, whether it be egg-bound hens, babies being attacked, or a recovery from an illness, are going to need heat. But what I like about this small one is I can cover part of the cage. So we put that in there like that. I'll get some easy bed. I'm just going to put a bit of that in. Doesn't need to be too deep. You're only looking just to really stop the muck getting onto the pad itself. So we've got that set up, and you'll notice all the time I'm just keeping it to this end, so sort of over this perch. It stops about there, and what that gives the bird is options to get away from the heat. We want the bird to get that heat, but once it's started to recover, it will be able to get away from the heat. Ideal if the bird is still perching. If not, it's even better because they can actually stay on the floor of the cage but be off the mat. That's really important. Dehydration in these situations, is a distinct possibility. So on this one, I've just put it through there, put the show cage front on, and that really is it. It's set up. It's a USB connection. So, we've got lots of these with old phones and things. So just make sure you get the right one for the manufacturer. I've got a little instruction book there, which I keep in my information drawer. And that is basically it. So on the floor of that cage, I will put some seed in one of these, another one with water in, but not too deep, just so they can get their head in there, and then a millet spray. And that will sit in the quiet. It usually stays in here in the kitchen area, and hopefully the bird will recover. I have had one baby in here, I think it was last year, and it fully recovered. It had been attacked by the parents, and I managed to take it away, but there was a little bit of blood. We cleaned it up. It was a bit of shock. Heat in there, plenty of food, and away it's going up. But I think he's in the breeding cage now, so it just shows you it was worth the effort. So with the bigger mat, this actually goes in my weaning cage. Come here, all the cables are gone. This actually goes in my weaning cage, and it actually goes up one corner. We know what babies are like. They'll all scurry to one corner and huddle. But I limit, if I'm using the heat mat, I will limit the number of babies to that particular cage to maybe 3 or 4. Again, just, on low heat to begin with, see how you get on. Just covered with a little bit of the easy bed again. And it's ideal. What I have done this time is I've slid a little bit of hose pipe down its full length, put that over, and that just stops anybody chewing electrical cable, because that is definitely what we don't want. And again, I've used that this year. Some of you who follow me on Facebook will have seen that I was topping up a spangle, opaline spangle hen. Within 2 or 3 days, away we went, and that was absolutely fine. She was on this for a little while. Once they're off and they've started feeding, they're generating their own body heat. So as soon as that's done, I switch this off. so I'm not wasting it and not risking them becoming dehydrated or anything silly like that. So yeah, so really simple. You can see this is an old style show cage, so that you can pick these up really cheaply. You could do this in a travel cage, a small stock cage. It makes no odds, but it's so easy and so worth doing. Any questions, sling them towards me, put them in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye.